News coming in at the top of 1 p.m. here on Breaking Ground from Parliament. The Congress has decided to stall the Prime Minister's address at 5 p.m. in the upper house of Parliament. Many voices emerging from the Congress. These MPs have spoken out. Vivek Tanka, Rajiv Shukla, both have said, we will not let Prime Minister Modi speak until Rahul Gandhi is allowed to speak in Parliament. We will continue with the boycott. You have Priyanka Gandhi also saying Rahul Gandhi should be allowed to speak. Here are those reactions.
Allow the leader of opposition to speak. They should speak and then they should do it. It's ridiculous. ये कोई तरीका है किसी के बारे में बात करने का? उनको बोलने देना चाहिए. क्या बात है? किस चीज से डर रहे हैं? कि वो किसी किताब से कोट करेंगे? इससे डर रहे हैं? एप्स्टीन फाइल से डर रहे हैं? किस चीज से डर रहे हैं? कि हम उनको कटघरे पे खड़े कर देंगे क्योंकि उन्होंने ये ट्रेड डील की है जिसमें सारे किसानों की जिंदगी बर्बाद होने जा रही है.
मेरे साथ कांग्रेस के वरिष्ठ नेता और सांसद विवेक तनखा हैं. आज राज्यसभा में भी ऐसा लग रहा है कि एक तकरार, एक गतिरोध बनता दिख रहा है क्योंकि मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे ने कहा है कि राहुल गांधी को क्यों नहीं बोलने दिया जा रहा.
क्यों नहीं नेता एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है और इंस्टीट्यूशन को अगर आप बजाते तो बोलने से तो आप ऑब्वियसली विरोध होगा. और क्यों नहीं होगा विरोध? और विरोध होना भी चाहिए क्योंकि रूलिंग पार्टी को ये समझना चाहिए कि ये पार्लियामेंट उनका प्रिजर्व नहीं है. और जो स्पीकर्स को और प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर्स को भी सोचना चाहिए ये एलओपी को फ्रीडम दीजिए, एक लिबर्टी दीजिए बोले जाने को. अरे हम कोर्ट कचहरी में भी जाते हैं तो हमको जज रोकता थोड़ी है.
राज्यसभा में आप लोगों की क्या रणनीति रहेगी जब प्रधानमंत्री बोलेंगे?
देखिए, हम लोगों ने तो जब तक जो हमारे लोकसभा में नेता विपक्ष उनको नहीं बोलने देंगे, उनको अवसर नहीं देंगे, तब तक तो हमने बहिष्कार का ही फैसला किया, तो हम बहिष्कार कर रहे हैं.
Joining me live on the big story, Vasudha Venugopal, political editor, NDTV. Prashant, special correspondent, NDTV, also with us. Vasudha, we've heard from the Congress. We know what their strategy is going to be ahead of 5 p.m. and at 5 p.m. when we're expecting the Prime Minister to speak in the upper house of Parliament. What are your sources telling you about BJP's counter? How are they going to ensure that there is no issue while the Prime Minister is speaking, as we saw yesterday in the Lok Sabha, even before he could begin his address?
So, Devika, both the BJP and the Congress want to drive home 2 points each. The BJP wants to drive home the point that business in the Parliament will go on as usual and that the LOP has to follow rules and has to work by rules of the Parliament. The second thing that, and an example of that, the motion to the President's address was passed today in the Lok Sabha without the Prime Minister speaking. This has happened for the first time after 2004. So, in 22 years, this is happening for the first time. So, the BJP is making it very clear that it will not let the business agenda of the government get stalled. The legislative agenda gets stalled because of the disruptions. And the second thing that they want to do is also completely hold the opposition responsible in front of the country that they want to send out this message that it's entirely because of the opposition, because it refuses to play by the rules, that people's agenda is not being talked about. The Congress, on the other hand, wants to also drive home to agenda. It wants to remind the BJP that it's a party that has to depend on allies for its majority. And the second thing is it also wants to remind its own allies, India Bloc allies, that the Congress party is capable of leading.
Vasudha, I have more breaking news that I'm going to come to you for in a moment from now. This is information coming in on what we're discussing now. According to sources, it is unprecedented that the Prime Minister did not speak in the Lok Sabha in the motion of thanks to the President's address. There was clear information, we're being told, that the Congress was physically planning to attack the Prime Minister in the Lok Sabha, and therefore women MPs were sent as a cover measure for this. Hence, the Speaker decided to adjourn the office despite the Prime Minister being in Parliament and available to speak. Vasudha? Alright, we've lost Vasudha there, but we'll try and go back to her. But that's the big breaking news coming in, that there was a sense in the lower house of Parliament, in the Lok Sabha, that the Congress will be attacking the Prime Minister physically, is what we're hearing. And this is based on sources, of course. And because of which you had women MPs being sent as a shield, Prashant, is what we're being told yesterday in the Lok Sabha.
That's right. And, I was witness to what happened in the Lok Sabha yesterday. I was sitting in the press gallery and I saw how 8 or 9 women MPs from the opposition parties, they cleared out the Prime Minister chair and they were standing in the way. They were standing in the staircases which Prime Minister uses to reach his seat. So it was clearly a pre-planned strategy by the opposition parties. But yes, now government sources have told us that they were apprehensive that something might happen, something untoward might happen yesterday in the Lok Sabha. That is why the Prime Minister chose not to come to the House, and it was decided that the House would be adjourned without taking up this issue and without Prime Minister speaking. So that's a big allegation coming from the government sources, saying that the opposition was planning to physically manhandle maybe the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister did not choose to come to the House. But yes, anybody who was witness to this situation in the Lok Sabha yesterday, he can vouch that things were very ugly, looking very ugly, and it seems that there was some pre-planned strategy to stall the House and to stall the speech of the Prime Minister.
Prashant, all right, I do have Mr. Bhandari, Pradeep Bhandari on the phone line with me. Mr. Bhandari, we're hearing that through our sources, that perhaps there was this attempt to disrupt the Prime Minister's speech yesterday, because of which women MPs from the opposition parties were used as a shield. Your first response to this?
Well, this tells you that the Congress party under Rahul Gandhi has decisively become a Muslim League Maowadi Congress party, which has become a front of urban Naxals. Because as you are reporting, and many people in the media reporting, that the women MPs were just sent a shield and the Congress tried to physically attack the Honorable Prime Minister. This tells you that Congress today is no longer a political outfit. It's exactly how Naxals used to behave, by having a political arm, and Rahul Gandhi not behaving like the leader of opposition but like a goon, because no sane individual will even attempt to think of physically attacking the Honorable Prime Minister in the House. This tells you that the Congress today wishes evil for the Prime Minister, and this is dangerous. Congress has become an anti-India party, and necessary action should be taken against Rahul Gandhi, who yesterday called a Sikh member Gaddar, and today we are getting to know that he also wanted to attack the Prime Minister physically.
But Mr. Bhandari, this is tit for tat in a way that the Congress is also indulging in. They're saying you didn't let the leader of opposition of the Lok Sabha speak in the lower house of Parliament. We will not allow the Prime Minister to speak in the Rajya Sabha. These are the Congress's words, that we will protest.
Well, so is the Congress party justifying an attempt or a plan to physically attack the Honorable Prime Minister? Is the Congress party justifying an attempt to gherao the Honorable Prime Minister? If you recall, this is how the Naxals used to behave, because the Naxals also, in the name of democracy, used to practice every anti-democratic act. This is ushering violence on the Honorable Prime Minister and attempting to physically attack the Honorable Prime Minister. And if the members of the Congress thought about this, this is dangerous, and the Congress party has exposed its true face, which is anti-India and pro-violence.
All right, Mr. Bhandari, thanks for joining me there on Breaking Ground. Going back to Prashant. Prashant, it's very rare to see a motion of thanks being passed by voice vote without the Prime Minister's response to the motion of thanks in the lower house of Parliament.
Yes, the only instance I can recollect is 2004, I believe, when the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's speech was also disrupted. But then, back then, he was able to speak for a few minutes, I think for 5 to 10 minutes, and then he did his speech on the table of the House. But that happened only in one house. In the other house, he was allowed to speak. He spoke at length on the motion of thanks. But this time, we saw what happened in Lok Sabha. And if what opposition parties are claiming, and they are saying that they will try to disrupt the Prime Minister's speech even in the Rajya Sabha. So if it does happen, and if opposition does succeed in stalling Prime Minister's speech in Rajya Sabha also, then I think it will be unprecedented, and I think it will be first time in the history of Parliament, Indian Parliament, that a motion of thanks has been passed without Prime Minister's speech. So yes, this is an unprecedented situation, and that is why I'm telling you that we have been told by the government sources that they are trying very hard, and they're trying to make it ensure that Prime Minister at least makes his speech even for a few minutes.
All right, Prashant, do stay with me.